of the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers and Illustrators of the Future. To protect yourself and others, please wear your mask throughout the presentation. And for our thousands of internet viewers worldwide, we have gathered this evening at the Taglian Complex in Hollywood, California.
In this moment, any dream can happen. In this second, there's a chance to let it fly. If we try, there's nothing in our way. Don't stop and refuse to give a day we'll create through the night. Make a future that's bright. We're alive. Take the journey, fuel the fire in your heart. Write the story, sing the song and play the part. With our love, we'll journey through the sky. With our love, never asking why. With our love, 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 we'll never die. Somewhere in the dark I saw the vision of a memory when all the earth was still except the beauty of a symphony. My life, my soul, my spirit now can fly. Take you with me. Come, let's soar beyond the sky. Dare to follow. Take my hand and we can fly. With our love, we'll build a better place. With our love, there's nothing we can face. With our love, we can fly. With our love, reach the sky. With our love, we'll never die. With our love, we'll never die. We'll never die.
When Daedalus first stretched his makeshift wings to soar towards the heavens, humanity was able to tell a story. It was a story of striving for something new, something greater than the fulfillment of a single life. To tell a story is to embrace the spirit, the essence of the heart and soul. For eons, that tradition went uninterrupted, spoken from generation to generation, or painted on every possible surface. Then came canvas and the page, a new era of storytelling. The speed of our achievement began to match the pace of our dreams. The Industrial Revolution, which so changed the size of the world we live in, also changed the nature of the stories we tell. Daring adventurers stretched the limits of science and art, pursuing the dreams of the creative, and humanity flew. A single story could be shared with millions. Storytellers like Dickens with his Great Expectations, Verne and his 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Wells with his War of the Worlds paved the way for Steinbeck with his Grapes of Wrath, Mann's Royal Highness, and L. Ron Hubbard's To the Stars, to lay a literary foundation for the golden age of storytelling, a roadmap to the future. McCaffrey's Dragons of Pern, Bradbury with his Fahrenheit 451, Heinlein's Starship Troopers, Frank Herbert's Dune, and a wave of far-seeing, almost prophetic writers of the human condition created a new world for the modern novelists such as Kevin Anderson, Larry Niven, and Orson Scott Card to create in. And in turn, these storytellers have found the bright torch of creation to be one that can be passed along to the next generation of great creators. But a curious thing has happened. For a score of centuries, humanity strove to catch up to the impossible dream of Daedalus's flight, and in the last 85 years, we caught up to the future told in the stories of those who wrote such far-fetched dreams. The current judges and winners of Writers of the Future live in a world where jetpacks are real. Google is testing the self-driving car. Sony has created robots that look like humans. As the torch of imagination is shared with this newest group of writers and illustrators of the future winners, we can only imagine what wonders they will discover as we come full circle into a new golden age.
Please welcome our Mistress of Ceremonies, Executive Director of Author Services, representing the literary works of L. Ron Hubbard, Ms. Gunhild Jacobs.
Thank you very much, and good evening. What a couple of years we've been through, but tonight we are grateful that we can get together again, and this time for a double dose of magic, because we are honoring not 24, but 50 outstanding writer and illustrator winners selected by our all-star blue ribbon judges. So from all of us at Author Services and Galaxy Press, I want to welcome all of you to the 2021 celebration of science fiction and fantasy writing and art. We have 33 winners from volume 36 and 37 with us tonight. The balance of the awardees are not able to make it due to travel restrictions, or as in the case of K.D. Juliger, she just had a baby. They will all join us next year so they won't miss out on this life-changing experience. We are also honored to hear from Tony Weisskopf, publisher of Baen Books, as our keynote speaker. And as for the backbone of the contest, the judges, we have a recognition in store for them. More about that later. For now, I first want to welcome the judges who have braved it out here to Hollywood. That includes 4 new judges who joined our ranks in the past 2 years: Dan Dos Santos, Tom Wood, B. Jackson, our newest Illustrators of the Future judges, and S.M. Sterling for the Writers of the Future. Will all the incredibly talented and generous judges who are here with us tonight please stand to be acknowledged? There is one thing about our chosen art forms, writing and illustration. They can be done anywhere and in solitude. So, despite the pandemic, writer and illustrator entrants, as well as most of our past winners and judges, were actually more productive than ever. And the release of our hugely popular Writers of the Future online workshop in April last year could not have been any more timely. The workshop features video presentations by workshop judges and instructors David Farland, Orson Scott Card, and Tim Powers. It also includes a study of essays and articles on writing by L. Ron Hubbard. The workshop gives budding writers a chance to improve their skills at their own pace before submitting to the contest. Mind you, it does not compare to the Writers of the Future Winner Workshop, which is at a whole different level. Now, on the point of winner and judge productivity, tradition has it that we give you an overview of the past year's accomplishments. This year, we have opted for you to get and read the article, The Year in Review, in both volumes 36 and 37. And once you have read that, I think you will understand. The accumulation of creativity from over 800 past winners in 2 years is simply too much. I would be at it for 10 minutes just to cover it all. So for now, let's spend our few precious hours together celebrating the new winners. This year, we will release not one, but 2 Writers of the Future anthologies, volumes 36 and 37. While volume 36 was released online in 2020, it was never released at our own event, and the grand prize winners from that volume were never announced. And by the way, this was not our idea. The volume 36 winners did not want to know until we could meet here at the event. So as I earlier said, we are in for a double dose of anticipation and excitement. This is going to be fun. So now to release L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future volumes 36 and 37, please welcome the President Galaxy Press, Mr. John Goodwin.
Thank you. 2020, 2021, 2 unreal years, 2 very real books. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future, Volume 36, and L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future, Volume 37. And here they are.
What you'll find in the Writers of the Future anthology is a sampling of some of the best and the finest new writers of our time.
And so it really does help the best rise to the top.
It's not specialized in very hard science fiction, fantasy, horror. It's a diverse mix of imaginative stories.
You get wonderful, surprising, powerful, moving stories from writers who have acquired the finest tools that the literature of science fiction and fantasy supply.
Great stories. Just read for the great stories. And the art. It's all good.
This is the face of science fiction as it is today.
To commemorate 2020 and 2021, the Illustrators of the Future coordinating judge, Echo Chernick, created both cover illustrations set in the same universe. Her art inspired a story for each volume, both written by Jody Lynn Nye, called The Phoenix's Peace and The Phoenix's War, included in the anthologies. In volume 36, we included 3 bonus stories: The Winds of Harmattan by Nnedi Okorafor, The Green Tower by Catherine Kurtz, and Borrowed Glory by contest founder L. Ron Hubbard. In volume 37, the bonus stories are The Museum of Modern Warfare by Christine Catherine Rush and The Dangerous Dimension by contest founder L. Ron Hubbard. The anthologies, of course, also contain all the prize-winning stories with illustrations in a stunning full-color art gallery up front. The senior editor is coordinating Writers of the Future judge, David Farland, himself a past grand prize winner. He also wrote the introductions, including his usual pointers as to what he and the panel of judges look for in a winning story. In addition to the remarkable entertainment value with stories set in completely different ahead-of-the-curve worlds, these anthologies also served as an instructional collection of short stories and articles. First of all, the aspiring writer or artist can read the books to see what the judges are looking for and what it takes to win. Secondly, in each volume are articles and tips from established pros in the form of educational essays on the craft of writing and illustration. In volume 36, you will find the Illustrators of the Future contest and the Art of This anthology by the Illustrator Contest Coordinating Judge, Echo Chernick. Breaking In by Illustrator Contest Judge, Mike Perkins. Making Collaboration Work for You, or Co-Writing with Larry and Sean by Contest Judge Sean Williams. And Steps in the Right Direction by L. Ron Hubbard. In volume 37, you will find the Illustrators of the Future contest by the Illustrator Contest Coordinating Judge, Echo Chernick. The Rewards of Imagination by Illustrator Contest Judge Craig Elliott. On Magic Out of a Hat by Contest Judge Orson Scott Card. And Magic Out of a Hat by L. Ron Hubbard. Here is a broad spectrum of sci-fi and fantasy represented, with everything from aliens bringing solutions for climate change to android theater troops, from a Victorian tea shop owner serving justice to wicked gangsters, to a starship powered by a godlike being. Stories that represent discovery, horror, courage, cleverness, sacrifice, scary things, what it means to be human, and so much more. The Midwest Book Review noted in their most recent review, Writers of the Future is the gold standard of emerging talent into the field of science fiction fantasy that has contributed more to the genre than any other source. Yeah. So get ready to be carried away to places no one has ever gone before. Discover the mesmerizing power of these new voices, the chosen ones, selected by today's best-selling science fiction and fantasy authors and artists. Volume 36 is already available wherever books are sold. Volume 37 releases this coming week in stores throughout the United States, Canada, Australia, the UK, and South Africa, and online in New Zealand and throughout Asia, Europe, Central, and South America. I hope you enjoyed this double shot of imagination as much as we enjoyed finding the talent. And bringing their creativity to you in the form of these soon-to-be best-selling and award-winning books. Thank you.
This year, we received 2 letters of recognition for the contest and our winners. The first one is from District 13 Los Angeles City Council member Mitch O'Farrell for the contest contribution to the arts. The second letter is from the California State Senator, District 24, Maria Elena Durazo, acknowledging the winners for their unique and insightful literary and artistic talents. So thank you to our esteemed representatives for these much appreciated recognitions. And now, on to the awards. Each quarter, entrants from around the world submit their stories and illustrations to Los Angeles, where the coordinating judges select honorable mentions, silver honorable mentions, semifinalists, and finalists. Our blue ribbon panel of judges then narrows them down to the winners, 3 writers and 3 illustrators. It is a quarterly contest, so every 3 months the process repeats. At the end of the year, we commission the 12 artist winners to each illustrate one of the winning stories. And those illustrations are published along with the winning stories in the annual anthology. While all the winners get prestigious awards, only 1 writer and 1 illustrator will receive the L. Ron Hubbard Golden Pen and Golden Bros Awards, an achievement that can and does change the course of their lives. As for the sequence of the awards in tonight's ceremony, winning authors and illustrations will be presented in the order they appear in both anthologies. Volume 36 winners from 2020 will appear on my right side. Volume 37 winners from 2021 will appear on my left side. And remember, if a winner does not appear on stage, it is not because of nerves. And now, To present our first awardees, please welcome Writers of the Future Judge Todd McCaffrey.
Chris Winspear from Australia is a first place winner from Volume 36 and a contestant for the Golden Pen Award with the story The Trade, where an alien visits the International Space Station to provide a potential solution to climate change, but for a price. The illustrator of The Trade is Arthur Bowling from the town of Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Volume 37 first place winner John M. Campbell from Denver, Colorado, wrote the story The Tiger and the Waif, where, after a devastating earthquake, a toy kitten crawls out of the rubble free at last. Deep in its programming, an urge demands to be fulfilled. The story was illustrated by Andre Mata from Portugal. Please congratulate them all.
Well, thanks so much. This is so thrilling. I appreciate it. I'd like to open my thanks for the contest coordinators and staff at the Author Services for all their work, their hard work for both the contest and for this week. Also like to recognize my illustrator, Andre Mata, who's a Portugal resident, so he couldn't get here, but hopefully next year he'll be here. Thanks to all the contest judges, and from my Denver Science Fiction Book Club, I'd like to thank former winners, Eneasz Brodsky and Van Aaron Hughes, for encouraging me to submit my story here. I'd also like to recognize my critique group from the Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers, who always help me publish or polish my stories. And thanks to my wife, Cheryl, who's my first reader. Now you're gonna see a wide range of authors and illustrators, a wide age range, including the youngest author that's ever been awarded here, and so I can see you looking at me and saying, "So how old is this guy, and how much of a future does he have?" Well, the Social Security Administration says they're betting that I'm going to be dead at 83 and a half. So doing the math, I think you're going to say, no, he's probably not going to make it that far. But I think there's hope, because this year science created a vaccine to stop the global pandemic in less than a year. So I'm thinking they've got 16 years to develop new vaccines that will kill whatever out there that's threatening my life. So I do have hope for the future, and I thank Writers of the Future for encouraging me in my quests. Thanks.
Well, just want to start off by thanking all you lovely people in the audience for joining us here tonight to wish myself, my fellow illustrators, and all the amazing authors that are with us tonight to celebrate this amazing occasion. Just want to say a big, huge, biggest thank you ever to the fine staff at Author Services, and a big quick shout out to Ron Hubbard for starting this whole event. But the staff at Author Services really knocked out of the park and came through. I know it's been super hard on you guys just getting all of this set up and missed all this craziness, but you guys really pulled through, and I am forever grateful, and I'm pretty sure the rest of my fellow finalists will agree with me on that. just to get some quick thank yous out of the way, I got to give the biggest, most important thank you to my lovely and amazing parents that are with us in the audience tonight. You guys are honestly the best, most supportive parents a guy could ask for. I love you guys so much, and I'm proud to be your son. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. I want to give another thank you to my amazing friends and family that could not join us here tonight from all over across the country. Love you guys. I appreciate all your support. Forever grateful for that. And last but certainly not least, I want to give a thank you to all of my teachers and mentors that I've had throughout the years, including the fantastic judges and guest art speakers here with us tonight through this amazing week. I appreciate all the knowledge you guys have given me. And yes, thank you. Enjoy.
Future coordinating judge, Echo Chernick.
Volume 36 winner Michael Gardner is from Australia. His story, Foundations, is about a universe where a house is how you live on, how you keep giving to those you love after you are gone, and it is not an easy thing to escape. The illustrator, Aidan Andrews, is from the beautiful Bayside town of Bellingham, Washington. Volume 37 first place winner Barbara Lund is from Draper, Utah. Her story, Sixers, is about a mysterious sixth censor who must use her talents to help 3 orphans on a journey across a devastated city to find her son. Will Knight, the illustrator of Sixers, is right here in Los Angeles. Please welcome them all to the stage.
Let's start with the obvious and thank everybody here from Author Services, all the staff from Author Services and Galaxy Press, both the people that are here with us tonight in the front lines and everybody backstage and working hard from home. I'd also like to thank my, Mr. Hubbard over there for funding and founding this event. Next sentence, I'd like to thank my writer, Michael Gardner, for just his amazing, dark science fiction that just made my job so much easier. It was just a joy to read. After that, I'd love to start by saying that my entering and my winning this competition wouldn't have been possible without my family, my friends, and my mentors. I'd like to specifically say that my mother is just the most amazing, most enthusiastic, positive person that's always behind me no matter what I do, no matter where I go, just for my whole life. So thank you, Mom. I'd like to also give a shout out to my art teacher, Katie Shanafelt, who helped me reintroduce art to my life and gave me just a career and something to aspire to. So thank you, Ms. Shanafelt. I'll end with a thank you to the judges. You've given me something that I didn't know that I needed so bad, which was a confidence in my work and a belief in myself. It's something intangible that I hope to keep with me for years to come. So thank you for that. And yeah, thank you.
This is very exciting. So I would like to thank L. Ron Hubbard for creating this wonderful contest, everybody at Author Services and Writers of the Future for making it happen. My family and my friends and my writing groups, my team at work that's putting up with me being gone, and of course the winners here and Will for creating a beautiful piece of art for me. Thank you.
Yo, what's up, LA? I'd like to thank Barbara for writing such an amazing story. It was really fun to illustrate. Thank you, Author Services. Thank you, judges. Thank you, my man, El Ron. And thank you, Mom and Dad, without whom I would still be a nebulous pixel in the universal consciousness without a corporeal form. They're in the audience tonight. I'd also like to thank Sergio Cristofalo for actually modeling clothed this time for my piece. He's in the audience as well tonight. And I'd like to thank Ted Fruckman for teaching me the value of money. He's also in the audience tonight. Thank you.
Please welcome Writers of the Future judge, Nancy Kress.
First place winner Andy Dibble of Madison, Wisconsin, has given us a story called The Word That Means Everything, wherein he presents the ultimate translation challenge. How do you take the most profound human concept and interpret it so that an alien can understand it? The story was illustrated by Heather A. Lawrence of the beautiful state of Washington, which I can attest is beautiful since it's also my state. Christopher Bowthorpe from Lehigh, Utah, has given us the story, The Enfield Report. In the Enfield Report, a scientist must choose between compassion and ambition when he is forced to participate in a sadistic and secret government project. The story was illustrated by Stephen Spinas, who unfortunately can't be here, from South Africa. Please join with me in congratulating them all.
I think I'm going to need to find more room in my suitcase for this. Wow, standing up here, it's all really real. I mean, after a whirlwind of a week here, the workshop was crazy. Got like 4 hours of sleep a night. So after seeing everything that goes into this, I first want to thank everyone at Author Services and Writers and Illustrators of the Future for all the work they put into making this happen. I mean, not only 1 year, but 2 years of winners. It was rescheduled twice because of COVID. I'm not sure how they pulled it off, but kudos to them for doing that. Thanks to L. Ron Hubbard for founding this and supporting it financially for 37 years and hopefully many, many more.
Thanks to my parents, Nick and Mary Dibble, and my Aunt Mary, for their suggestions on my story. I wrote this story really early on in my writing career. It actually was the very first story I wrote that I actually planned to make money on. Yeah. And I mean, now I have the support of some great writing groups, the Toronto Science Fiction and Fantasy writing group, and a speculative technologies group based in Madison, Wisconsin. But back then, I was kind of, just, figuring it out. So thanks to them for their suggestions, because I might not be here otherwise. Thanks to Charlie Hallisey, an old Buddhist studies professor of mine, who I had, 8 years ago when I did my master's. He loved to tell stories. One weird little aside in class was the impetus for this story so many years later. So thanks to him. Thanks to the judges for really paying it forward. They're busy people. I'm honored to be on the receiving end of all they've done for us. And thanks, last but not least, to Heather Lawrence, who illustrated my story. Yeah. I mean, it's flattering to have someone just kind of poring over your work, thinking about the best way to realize it in a new medium. And I mean, I saw her illustration, and I mean that brought out new potential for me in my own work. So it's yeah. Thank you all.
Well, ever since I was 5, I knew I wanted to be an artist. And I saw the illustrations in the books and the media around me, and I thought, the world is a better place because of this beauty that's there. And I wanted to be the person who was creating those awesome, inspiring illustrations. And that journey has led me to here. And I want to thank, of course, everybody who is responsible for putting me in this position. The parents and teachers, their encouragement growing up, I'd like to thank them for that. And of course, all my creative friends across my entire life, the ones growing up, the current ones, and the ones that I have made at this, this wonderful event this week. I'd like to thank my wife, Sarah Alves, of course, for her inspiration. I definitely would not be the artist I am today without her. I'd like to thank the Illustration Academy. They are an organization that really has helped me improve my picture making capabilities. I'd like to thank my writer, Andy Dibble, for writing such a wonderful little sci-fi otherworldly story. It was a lot of fun to illustrate. And I would like to thank all of Author Services, the entire staff, for all their hard work, and all of the writers and illustrators of the future judges for coming and judging our work for us. And of course, I'd like to thank the L. Ron Hubbard Endowment for supporting this contest year after year. Yeah, and the last thing I'd like to say is that when we started this, we were the illustrators of the future, but let us now be the illustrators of the present.
All right. Wow, this is tremendous. Lots of thank yous. Let's start out. My beautiful wife, Michelle, who's so supportive, even though she has no idea what I'm talking about at least half the time. Even if it's just wrangling 5 children and keeping them silent so that I can, pound the keyboard for a couple hours, she's magnificent. Speaking of my kids, my boys, Porter, Hudson, Oliver, and Franklin, and my little girl, Elsie, you guys help me remember what it's like to be young, and I love that. I draw so much inspiration from them. My grandma Johnson, my first reader, God bless her, she probably read some awful stories. But look at me now. Let's see. My my writers group, the League of Utah Writers chapter at large, so much support, so much confidence, and so much help polishing, the words that we write. Huge thank you to Brandon Sanderson, Dan Wells, Howard Taylor, and Mary Robinette Kowal, the Writing Excuses crew. If you haven't listened to their work on that podcast, they have inspired me and kept me motivated so many times as I'm driving around for my mind-numbing day job. That's a joke, but honestly, I would not be here. In fact, I wrote short stories and entered the contest based off of advice from one of their episodes. So, just a huge thank you. You've really done something remarkable for the writing community there. Last but certainly not least, the whole crew at Galaxy Press and Author Services. What an amazing production they've put on, and just so courteous and professional throughout the entire thing. I would be remiss if I didn't thank L. Ron Hubbard and his foundation. I think now more than ever, the world needs stories. They need stories for their ability to help others see the world through different eyes and to explore new ideas in a way that's not threatening and might help them make realizations. And I can't think of anyone who's done more to proliferate that ability than Mr. Hubbard and his foundation. So I'm just tremendously grateful. I'll never forget this. And of course, Steven Spinas, who just did a tremendous piece of artwork. I was absolutely knocked to the floor when I saw that. But thank you, everyone.
L. Ron Hubbard was, as he himself stated, first and foremost a writer with a lifelong vision and passion for the arts. He started his professional writing career in 1934 at 23 years of age. Throughout his life, he would always give advice to novice writers and come up with ways to give them a helping hand. As a matter of fact, he launched his first writing competition, the Golden Pen Award, in 1940, the forerunner to the Writers of the Future contest as we know it today. Ron's tips would oftentimes go beyond the technical aspects of writing and art, covering such subjects as research, the business of writing, and how to deal with editors. He even covered what the very darkest enemy of creation is. And as for what that might be, hear it from himself in his own voice in this 1954 lecture excerpt.
I remember when I was doing quite a bit of writing when I was very young. Quite a bit of writing. I say quite a bit of writing, a couple 100,000 words a month, something on that order. Everybody used to say to me all the time, what you ought to do is get in a routine. See, you ought to get in a routine. and you ought to work out your schedule. You see, in such a way that you write so many hours, you enjoy so many hours. Funny part of it was that once upon a time I fell for this. I decided the best time to go to work was 9 o'clock in the morning. I did. I sat there. 10 o'clock, I was still sitting there. Noon, I was still sitting there. So I went out and got some lunch, thinking maybe that was the answer to the thing. I came back and sat down at the typewriter. I sat there. 5 o'clock was the time I decided to knock off, so I knocked off. I did this for a couple of weeks. And boy, did I have to work then to catch up on my production. Because it just plain hadn't worked out, that's all. Well, I, of course, probably didn't keep at it long enough. No, routine did not have very much to do with it. Whenever we get a set machine schedule and try to put it in against the field of the arts, we're really in trouble. Because arts are creative, and a machine schedule is the very darkest enemy of creation. It's all got to go according to a preordained plan, and it's all going to be routinized and so forth. So, Creativeness would include also the creation of time. And a man who is a very busy man and has to get a great many things done is liable to do, if he's in good shape, a tremendous number of things in a span of time which is not the preordained, allowed, regularized, regulated time span. And after he's gotten all these things done, everybody says, where could he possibly have gotten all that time?
And now please welcome Writers of the Future judge, Dean Wesley Smith.
Wow, this place has gotten bigger since I walked across the stage in the very first ceremony 38 years ago now, 37 years ago. Wow. It's mind-numbing, I'll tell you. Okay, volume 36, first place winner, J.L. George, lives in Cardiff, Wales, and won in the third quarter for Catching My Death, which is about catching your death to find out if yours will be a good death or a bad one. The illustrator for this story is Caitlin Goldberg. She is from the state of Michigan. Volume 37 winner, Elizabeth Chatsworth, is a British author living in Connecticut. Her story, The Widow's Mite, is about a Victorian tea shop owner who hopes to serve justice to wicked gangsters with the help of a mysterious new friend. The story was illustrated by Madeline Locke from Atlanta, Georgia. Please congratulate all these winners.
So first of all, I'd love to thank L. Ron Hubbard, Author Services, and all the judges for making this event possible and for putting their faith in me as an illustrator. I'd also like to thank my family for being so supportive of me all my life and providing me with the resources I needed to succeed in art from a young age. I have a great thanks to Kendall College of Art and Design for providing me with the resources and teaching me the fundamentals of art from a young age with summer classes and now as a full-time student there. I'm so honored to be here with all these amazing illustrators. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. So I actually got to know Joni through the DragonCon art show several years ago. And a couple of years ago, I turned around and bam, there she was, right in my face. She gave me that look. Y'all know that look. And she goes, Madeline, why have I not seen your submission? Y'all, the woman is relentless. So clearly I did get my submission in, and I'm really glad that I did because I am so honored to be a part of this organization and this contest. I want to say a special thank you to L. Ron Hubbard for believing in the future of this genre when not too many people do. I want to say thank you to all the judges, mentors, Galaxy Press, and Author Services for giving so much of yourselves to us. And a special thank you to all of you that can't be here with us because we've heard all week about how much you want to be. So thank you for doing all the work and not being able to be here with us. And finally, I want to say a thank you to my best friend of over 20 years who has always been the fire behind me and has never let me give up. Thank you.
Please welcome Writers of the Future judge, Larry Niven.
Good evening. Volume 36 winner, F.J. Bergman, lives in Madison, Wisconsin. In her anti-bullying story, A Prize in Every Box, you will find out what wonders or misery a cereal box prize offers. Yes, a cereal box prize. The illustration for A Prize in Every Box was done by self-taught digital and traditional artist Ben Hill from Florida. Volume 37 winner, Luke Wildman, was born in West Africa and now lives in Indianapolis. His story, How to Steal the Plot Armor, tells of a magical kingdom overrun by chosen ones, where a wizard grows weary of always being the mentor and decides to do something about it. How to Steal the Plot Armor was illustrated by the UK-based artist Dan Watson. Please welcome them all to the stage.
I'm very grateful to be here this week, as for all that's been provided by the people who make Writers of the Future possible prior to this week, especially the judges. This includes encouragement for some of my 14 previous attempts in entering the contest. I owe profound thanks to critique groups with fellow writers, especially Speculative Technologies in Madison, Wisconsin, which Andy Dibble is also in, and to a stint at Viable Paradise, and a number of teachers. But most of all, I owe thanks to the speculative authors who wrote the books I so enjoy that exemplify what I hope to achieve. I only started writing speculative fiction in the last 20 years, but I've been reading their books since grade school. Thanks to Ben Hill for the wonderful illustration he did that went to the heart of my story. And I'm especially grateful to the guy who provided the funding for this fabulous contest and workshop, Elron.
It's mine. First of all, thank you everybody who came out tonight and everybody who is there at home watching. You know, we appreciate it. Thanks for the support, guys. It means a lot. And a huge thanks to Mr. Hubbard for this contest and keeping it alive. Just, it's amazing. Author Services, Galaxy Press, everybody there, thank you so much for all the hard work this week and just getting us all here safely and taking care of us. It's amazing. You guys are awesome. Please, it's just... I owe a massive thank you to Echo and the judges and just all of my fellow artists this week. Just so much guidance and support, and it's amazing, and I really appreciate it, you guys. It's so good. And I have to thank my family, my parents, and my brothers, and you guys are just always supporting me. Thank you so much, you guys watching at home. I appreciate it so much, you guys. And Bruce Bernese for telling me about this contest and to enter And that was just some amazing advice, and I'll always remember that. Thank you. And I have to say thank you to my school. They're just the most amazing teachers that I've had. Smart School, my mentors. Shout out to those guys. They know who they are. And my artist community that's come along with it, my art tribe, Rusty Skillet. And finally, thank you so much to my writers that I've had the pleasure of illustrating their stories, both for volumes 36 and 37. FJ and Elaine, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Well, just like FJ, I submitted to this contest 14 times before I got in. And I finally found my way up here, but there were a few rough years there. There were years when I was working in factories and working in cubicles and writing soulless marketing posts. And there were also times when I was sitting by my mom's hospital bed while she was going through cancer treatments. So during those times, every now and then I would get an email from Joni telling me that I had won another honorable mention or a silver honorable mention. And those just gave me that little bit of hope that I needed to keep on with my writing. So a huge thank you to the whole team at Author Services and everyone who we met this week, as well as all of those who we have not gotten to meet, but we know you're all working so hard behind the scenes for this to happen. And a huge thanks to the literary estate for making this happen. I also want to thank my beta readers. There are too many of them to name, but the ones who read pretty much everything I wrote include Elizabeth Sison and Ted Williamson, Micah Detweiler, and my wife, Lauren Wildman. Thank you to my wife just for everything she does, for sacrificing and being willing to let me traipse off to Hollywood while she stayed in Indianapolis for this. Thank you.
Please welcome Writers of the Future judges Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Mesta.
Volume 36 winner Leah Ning lives in Northern Virginia. Her story, Yellow and Pink, is not as uncomplicated as it sounds. It deals with an unusual question. How often would you reset time to save the love of your life? Illustrator Max Kavun has lived most of her life in Turkey. She is our first winner from that country.
Volume 37 winner, Katie Julisher from Nevada, was previously published in L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future, Volume 32, as a published finalist, and is returning with her winning story, The Redemption of Brother Adalum, where there can be no redemption for a man who has lost control of his warrior bear spirit, only penance, or so Adalum believes. The Redemption of Brother Adalum was illustrated by Isabel Gibney from Washington, D.C. Please congratulate them all.
I did not trip over my dress. That was good. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't first thank L. Ron Hubbard and the folks at Author Services for this fantastic contest. You all have been wonderful. Thank you so much for believing in all of us and for setting up this fantastic week for everybody. You all have been so kind, and I appreciate you all so much. I wanted to thank the Writers of the Future Forum, and especially Wolf Moon, for their wonderful welcome and for being so helpful as I was beginning to enter the contest. I want to thank the two people who read this story before it went in, without whom it definitely would not have won. My friend Tiffany and my husband, Alan, who is sitting in the audience tonight. You have been so unflinchingly supportive of my writing, and I cannot possibly thank you enough for doing what you've done to make sure that I can do what I dream to do. I would also like to thank my illustrator, Max, for her beautiful illustration of my story. It absolutely got straight to the heart of the story, and it was so good. I just completely freaked out when I saw it. I would like to thank my writing group, The One Ring, for their support over the past couple of years while I've been waiting to get here, and for their unflinching honesty about my stories. And I want to thank my parents for their support as well. And finally, I would like to thank the judges for how incredibly wise and supportive they've been of the writers over the past week, and for how much they've been willing to give to us over the course of this week. Thank you so much. For the writers who are still submitting to this contest, keep entering. You never know when you're going to win. Join the forum. They are lovely people. They will help you out. They are super good at critiques. Please join the forum. And write your heart. Don't let anybody tell you what to write, because otherwise you're going to be bored, and so is everybody else. Finally, this workshop has been absolutely amazing. To my fellow winners, it has been so good to meet all of you, and I cannot wait to see where all of you are going to go. Thank you so much.
Hello and marhaba. Dear judges, guests, winners, and of course, everyone else here and other services. I would like to say thank you for being here tonight, and also all your hard work that made this thing possible. Like you see, I'm from Turkey, and from a small town in Turkey to LA, I cannot express how thankful I am, how grateful I am, but I'll give it my best shot. So I would like to say thank you for my writer for this beautiful story, for the judges and volunteers for their time here, and of course, Author Services for their hard work. But most importantly, I would like to say thank you to my parents. I'm very grateful for them. The parents that supported me through thick and thin, in a country that didn't care about art and dreams. I'm thankful that they said that it was okay, that I could do what I did. And I'm grateful that they sacrificed everything they had so that I could be here today. So thank you, and fight on.
It has been such an amazing whirlwind of a week. I would firstly like to thank all the staff of Author Services and all the judges for the amount of time and energy they've put into the development of each contestant, and L. Ron Hubbard, without whom this contest would not exist. Most importantly, I would like to thank my writer, Katie Julicher, for creating an incredibly captivating but also challenging story to illustrate. I really enjoyed working on it. I'm very grateful to all the support that my teachers and mentors have given me throughout the years. They encouraged me to believe that a career in art was a possibility, even when I didn't believe in myself. And finally, I would like to thank my friends, the audience, and my family who have not only posed for innumerable reference photos, but have also cheered me on since day one. I would not be here without your kindness and generosity. Thank you so much.
This evening's keynote speaker has been involved with publishing for most of her adult life. We originally met her at the Writers of the Future event in New York over 30 years ago. She has worked under Jim Bain as an editor, wearing every hat in a publishing house. She has won the Phoenix Award, the Rebel Award, and the Neffy Award for Best Editor. And with Jim's passing, she became the owner and publisher of Bain Books, dedicated to publishing the best in science fiction and fantasy. Writers of the Future and Bain Books are intimately connected, with so many of our winners and judges being published by Bain. Please welcome the publisher of Bain Books, Ms. Toni Weisskopf.
My people, it's so great to be here. I'd like to thank the organizers of the Writer of the Future event for inviting me here to talk to you all. Is it not a lovely venue? Yeah. At workshops, I am notorious for asking writers what their theme is. So I will make it easy on you guys and give you the theme of my speech right up front. Since it is so likely that children will meet with cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage. Otherwise, you are making their destiny not brighter, but darker. C.S. Lewis said that, yes, yes. I'll get back to that theme in a minute. My association with the Writers of the Future goes back a long way, longer than some of this year's winners have been alive, in fact. While I was still in college a long, long time ago, I knew that I wanted to become involved in science fiction publishing as an editor. And my senior year, I would attend science fiction conventions with resume in hand. One of my good friends was AJ, Algis Budrys, the founding judge of Writers of the Future. Yeah, yeah. He and Author Services would throw parties at conventions to publicize the contest. And those parties were much more modest than this event, though still, I have to say, very classy. They always had the best canapes. And one of the reasons why is part of my earliest recollection of the Writers of the Future, chopping cheese and cutting vegetables in a hotel suite. I have come a long way in 4 decades, and so has the contest. One of the reasons I'm here speaking to you is because over the years, there have been many Writers of the Future judges, Illustrators of the Future judges, and winners associated with my company, Bain Books. Some of the more than 20 judges whose work we've had the honor of publishing, include the aforementioned Algis Budrys, Tim Powers, Kevin J. Anderson, Gregory Benford, Anne McCaffrey, Larry Niven, and Jerry Pornell. Many of your artist judges have graced our covers too, including Bob Eggleton and Dan Dos Santos, who is here with us tonight. And we've not only published those folks, but also a bunch of the Writers of the Future winners too, including novels by Eric Flint, who is himself now a judge for the contest, and in alphabetical order. Oh yeah, you clap for Eric, yeah. In alphabetical order, Stoney Compton, Jim Glass, John Moore, Martin Shoemaker, Eric James Stone, and Brad R. Torgerson. Winner Bill Ledbetter works with us on our Jim Bain Memorial Award short story contest. And winner Sean Patrick Hazlitt is editing a couple of original anthologies for us. His next one is due out next year. And let me tell you, there has never been a better time to be involved with science fiction. Science fiction won at the box office, on TV, in popular culture of all kinds. IKEA is using robots to sell furniture. And somehow rockets sell mortgages. I don't know how, but there is an actual company called iRobot. It's not just a book title from Isaac Asimov. Our biggest billionaires are true believers. Jeff Bezos collects science fiction art and is a science fiction fan. Elon Musk is too. Even Senator Ted Cruz quotes Star Trek. But there is a downside to all of that. Back in the day, there was a sense that we, those of us who read and wrote and illustrated and published and reviewed SF and chopped cheese and threw parties, that we were all in this together. It was, to quote a Fanish trope, a proud and lonely thing to be a fan. Well, we have lost the lonely, and some of us might say we are on the way to losing the proud part too, but we don't have to. We, all of us here, the bright stars of the future, together with your experienced judges and workshop coaches, we are a community. And tonight, I want to remind us of some of the things that we do right as a community, things that we can be proud of. I'm not saying that there's no room for improvement. I'm just saying that I prefer to focus on the positives, the things that bring us together, not the things that divide us. And in my 50 or so years of being part of this community, I've come to the conclusion that science fiction is a conversation. Science fiction is a literature of ideas, and ideas were made to be shared. There are very few Emily Dickinsons in SF. Just look around you. We are a social people. And when I say science fiction, all peace to Gregory Benford, with whom I expect to have this particular conversation for a very long time, I mean the greater SF that includes fantasy. Some would have it the greater fantasy that includes science fiction, since fantasy is arguably the first genre, and science fiction, a relative newcomer to the literary scene. Tim Powers and I date it to 1926, okay? But we're all part of one thing. Science fiction is famously hard. It deals with hard science. It's hard to write. And some people will tell you, therefore, that fantasy is easy. I will not tell you fantasy is easy. As that famous comedian Alan Swan said, dying is easy, comedy is hard. So is fantasy if you want to do it right. It seems to me that if science fiction is about learning how to understand and control the universe from the nanotech level all the way up to gravity and deep time, maybe fantasy is about coming to terms with not being able to control the universe. And I'm going to say that again because I think it's important. It seems to me that if science fiction is about learning how to understand and control the universe, fantasy is about coming to terms with not being able to control the universe. And that ain't easy. They are complementary approaches to fiction, two sides of the same coin, and that may be why so many writers write both SF and fantasy, L. Ron Hubbard among them. Eric Flint's Writers of the Future winner was a fantasy story. His first novel, published by Bain, was pure science fiction. So let me tell you, it is not only okay to write about C.S. Lewis's brave knights and to tell tales of heroic courage. It's important. Just as important as hard science fiction is inspiring scientists and engineers. Both address very real problems, and it doesn't matter how you attack that problem, whether it be through high fantasy, epic fantasy, or urban fantasy, or secret histories, or vampire stories. Whatever the latest variation on the subgenre theme is that excites you, it's just important that the problem be addressed and the inspiration shared. So understand that when I say SF, this is a large umbrella. It covers multitudes. There is room for everybody here. That's not an accident. The people who make up the community of science fiction have always been inclusive and have always been generous of spirit. One of the things we do well as a community is pay it forward. L. Ron Hubbard created Writers of the Future to pay it forward. Our culture was one of inclusion. The only criteria needed to join, enjoy science fiction. That's it. Boom, there's your secret handshake. You're in. And I have seen that personally in action for over 40 years. My point being, there is no need to be ashamed of where you come from. It's okay to be proud of the community that you belong to and that you all contribute to. So lift each other up, share your experiences with newer writers and artists, just as the writers and illustrators of the future have helped you. Keep the chain of pay it forward going. Include everyone in your futures. Keep the conversations going. And most importantly, be proud to tell your tales of brave knights and heroic courage and show competent, good people solving problems. And if that's not how you work, show the dark side of if this goes on. Show us where we don't want to go. But mostly, lift each other's up. Let your words lift each other up. Make our futures brighter, not darker. We're going to need it.
Please welcome Illustrators of the Future Judge, Dan Los Santos.
Hello. Kitty Livingston is from Lawton, Oklahoma. As a first place winner, she's also a contestant for the Grand Prize Golden Pen Award. Her chilling story, Educational Tapes, will inform you that there's nothing here to harm you, only your choices, only yourself. The educational tapes will prepare you for your choice of I accept or I decline. There are no other options. The illustrator of this story is Ayong Javier from Maryland. Ange Dockery is a Filipino-American author who wrote the story The Argentum, where the starship that brought mankind to its first colony among the stars was powered by a godlike being who now wants to know what it is to be human. The illustrator of the story is Rupam Grimure from New Delhi, India. Please welcome them to the stage.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Unlike most of the contestants, I just arrived today, so I'm arriving like with the full energy of everything going on, all the excitement. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of my fellow writers and illustrators who have made me feel so welcome, even though I just got here a few hours ago. Obviously, I want to say thank you to the wonderful people at Author Services and the wonderful people who put this on for the L. Ron Hubbard Foundation, who keeps this going. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My parents are also here, as well as my little sister. Thank you for coming out and supporting me.
Man, there's a lot of you. I'm deeply honored to be able to stand on this stage tonight. This still hasn't really hit me yet. It's kind of mind-blowing for me. So I'm trying to still process it. I'm very grateful to be a part of this contest and to be able to meet all of these wonderful writers and illustrators as well. I would like to say thanks to everyone that could make this event possible. I thank L. Ron Hubbard. I thank the people in our author services. And I would like to say thank you to all of the judges here today. I also extend my warmest regards to all those who couldn't be here tonight. And I would like to just say thank you to my family for supporting me for so long. If not for them, I would not continue to be an illustrator. If not for them, I wouldn't be able to stand on this stage. So thank you very much.
This is such an honor. Thank you. Now, I'm so honored to have been chosen for this award and to be a part of this opportunity. Thank you to L. Ron Hubbard and the judges and all the tireless employees and volunteers at Writers and Illustrators of the Future for making this possible. This is an amazing thing, bringing all these new writers and illustrators together. And I first submitted to this contest when I was 18 years old. So here I am 19 years later. So it's a long time coming, but this has been an unforgettable experience. Thank you to my illustrator, Rupam, for his amazing artwork. When I heard that I won the contest, I smiled and I grinned really big. But when I saw Rupam's vision of my work, I cried. So I wish he could have been here to celebrate with us. I want to thank my writing group in Dallas, the Dallas Future Classics, and Bill Ledbetter for their mentorship and for mercilessly telling me to cut my story down to a readable length. And I want to thank my Austin Writers group, Susan and the Beavers, for challenging me to write something weirder than Natsu's phone games, and for keeping me sane during the pandemic. So I love you guys. And last but not least, I have to thank my family, to my husband, Joseph, and my mom, Agnes, and my daughter, Isla, for coming with me to support me during this long week, and my in-laws, Debbie and Martin, for holding the fort down at home, my sisters for always encouraging me and being my best friends, and my dad, who got me my first library card and watched late night sci-fi movies with me and introduced me to the genre. My writing comes from a place of love, and my family provides that foundation of love that inspires every word I write. So I love you and I thank you.
Please welcome Writers of the Future Judge, S.M. Sterling.
Volume 36 winner David A. Ellison from Los Angeles wrote the story Trading Ghosts, about what would you do if air was taken from you but you couldn't die. The illustrator for Trading Ghosts is Mason Maddock from Tehran, Iran. Volume 73 first place winner Trent Walters lives in Springfield, Missouri. His story Soul Paper tells how a young girl's grandfather taught her how to create music from the soul, but does it come at too high a price? Soul Paper is illustrated by Mariah Salinas from Orlando, Florida. Please welcome them to the stage.
I've been pursuing this for a minute, but I wanted to write something worthy of it. So I wrote, I practiced, and I finally submitted a few times, and I was fortunate to receive honorable mentions. I'd even cultivated for many years this graying goatee that we male speculative fiction writers are compelled to have.
But I hadn't really thought to be standing here. Humbled to have met writers of such caliber whose stories have all impressed me so much. There are people who deserve thanks. Mr. L. Ron Hubbard, without whom this opportunity wouldn't exist. Author Services and Galaxy Press for going above and beyond to support all of us, and for making a curmudgeonly writer from Los Angeles feel that perhaps he might create something worth reading. Many thanks to David Farland and Michaela Carter for their insight in finalizing the shape of the story. Mr. Mason Matak, your artwork is such that stories should be written for it rather than the other way around. To the writing groups who have tolerated my work for this long, my friends in the Sci-Fi Fantasy Critique Group, and the only writing group in town whose collective wisdom cannot be overstated. My newly met birth mother and family, my sisters, Karen and Robin, and my parents who are no longer with us, who always supported me, but I suspect that they never really understood the weird things that we write. And above all, Bianca, you are always my muse, and this is for you. Onward and upward.
I feel a little envious about the people that only submitted for 19 years. I was submitting in the 90s, so. I would like to thank Author Services. They have been unfailingly kind and generous with their time. And I'd ask questions like, hey, can you do this? And they do it. It was pretty awesome. Thank L. Ron Hubbard for his advice, his stories, and this awesome platform to launch new writers out into the world. I want to thank the judges for their guidance and generosity. Mariah for an awesome illustration. Not only captured the story, but she put herself into it, her own vision. I thought that was incredible. I want to thank Nancy Kress for urging us to begin with a splash, Tim Power for flipping stories on their head, whether they should be or not. Robert J. Sawyer for cutting the really boring stuff. Dean Wesley Smith for his work ethic. Dave Wolverton for his concept of resonance. And I want to thank my parents for loving me. And I just want to say that this story came, I think you will see that it came out of just a month after my father's passing. Thank you all.
That's heavy. Okay. I didn't know we were supposed to write speeches, so I'm just wing it. But I just want to thank everyone who's here today, and also the people who couldn't make it, but hopefully you can make the next one. I want to thank L. Ron Hubbard, the Writers of the Future, just everyone who's made this come together. And the biggest person I think I want to thank is my best friend, Soraya, who is watching at home right now. Hey! But she's one of my biggest inspirations. She's also my biggest critic. So every single phase of this artwork, she has had a word in it. So thank you for that, girl. Thank you so much, Trent, for writing an amazing story. It touched my heart. I read it at least 1 million times. I love it. It's so good. And I want to thank my grandmother as well. I wouldn't be able to known about this without her. We actually found it in a scholarship book, believe it or not. And I'd also like to thank my parents, my mother for making me, my brother, he is also at home watching. Hey, bro. And I also wanted to thank just all the people who I've met here. You guys are so sweet, amazing, and thank you so much.
fellow illustrators of the future, Judge Tom Wood.
Volume 36 winner, Storm Humbert, is from Michigan. In his story, Stolen Sky. Alien performers capture the imagination of human audiences, but at what cost? To the people, or to the performers and their people. The illustrator for Stolen Sky, In Lee, was born in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Volume 37 winner, Eric Lin, lives in the Pacific Northwest. His story, The Skin of My Mother, is about a woman who escaped her destiny, returns home to find it won't be so easy the second time. The story is illustrated by Shi Yi Yu from Ningbo, China. Please congratulate them all and welcome them to the stage.
Wow. I want to start out by thanking the Writers of the Future contest and everyone who makes that possible, from Author Services to Galaxy Press, Slush Readers, everyone who's been working so hard to make this work for us all week. It's been amazing. I want to thank Ron Hubbard for endowing this contest and making this tremendous opportunity possible for all of us. This contest is amazing because it provides validation in a business that is so full of rejection, and that's really special. Not a lot does, nothing does what this contest does. So everyone that works for it is doing something irreplaceable for the community. I want to thank my mom and dad for always teaching me to chase my passions and pursue them and not give up. I want to thank my amazing fiance Casey, for fully supporting me as I chase my dreams. It's incredibly valuable, and I wouldn't be here without her. I want to thank my readers and my friends, Bill, Peter, Luke, and my brother Colt. I want to thank the judges and instructors. I'm the product of an incredibly lucky streak of good teachers, and good teachers are so important. They change lives, and so I want to thank you all for everything you do and everything you've given to this contest and to us this week. I'm honored to be a part of this group of incredibly talented writers and illustrators, and I'm excited to see how we carry forward and shape the future of the genres that we love. And I guess I want to encourage anyone watching who wants to be a writer, who wants to do this, to submit. Use the contest as a tool, as inspiration. Let it keep you moving. Let it give you a target to keep striving for, because we need that. And that's another special thing this contest does. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, and especially my parents for making it all the way from Missouri to be here. They're over there with my cousins as well. I'm so happy to be here, and first and foremost, I would like to thank L. Ron Hubbard for creating this very inspiring contest for all those aspiring writers and illustrators to be able to expose their work and their art throughout the world. And I would like to thank all the staff and the judges of Author Services and Galaxy Press for creating this amazing event and hosting an awesome workshop that I will never forget. And just to be here and to have this be a part of my life is incredible. And I would like to thank my friends and my family for all their support, my teachers and my mentors for their guidance through my journey as an illustrator, And I would like to thank, most importantly of all, my parents. My parents and I came from Vietnam in 2007. And coming here, it was very hard for me to acclimate because I did not know any English. And the only thing that I could use to express my emotions and my creativity was to draw. And throughout the past 14 years, my parents have always been there to support my hobby. And as that hobby turned into a passion, they've always been there to encourage me to go after my dreams and go after my goals, because the reason they moved here was for me to have a chance at a better life, and I cannot thank them enough for that. And I'm just so grateful to be here in front of all of you and to be a part of this incredible event. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank my artist. She's amazing. She couldn't be here, but when a writer sells a story, we know we entertained at least one person. But it's rare that we get such feedback where we can say, wow, this person really gets me. And it was just amazing art. So I really appreciate that. I'd like to thank Writers and Illustrators of the Future, both the people we interacted with all week long and those that couldn't make it here. It's amazing. This is just a stunning event all around. Over the top, even though I'd heard all about it, for so long, words cannot describe how great it's been. I'd also like to thank the judges, not just for the time they took to judge and their amazing, great taste, but also the time they put into come and give us words of advice and to give us encouragement and just be open to talk about any aspect of writing. It's been great. And finally, I'd like to thank my wife, who's in the audience. She has been the support, of course, all week while I've been here, but she's really my support every day of my life. And I love you, baby. Thank you.
This past year, we lost a key cornerstone in our judges panel and a legend in the world of science fiction and fantasy, Mike Resnick. It has been very difficult to replace his heartfelt, generous care for our winners after they won. But in his spirit, we are, of course, carrying on. We also regret the passing of one of the founding Illustrators of the Future contest judges, Ron Lindan. He served as the coordinating judge for the Illustrators of the Future contest for 19 years and will be remembered for his dedication to discovering and nurturing new talent. Their spirit remains, and tonight we are going to give a special recognition to their peers and the pillars of the contest, the judges. The original panel of writer judges were personally selected by L. Ron Hubbard when he founded the Writers of the Future contest in 1983. In the introduction to the first Writers of the Future anthology, he introduced them as follows. Judging the winners for this book could not have been an easy task, and I am sincerely grateful to those professionals and top-flight veterans of the profession for their hard work and final selections which made this book possible. Gregory Benford, Algis Budrys, Stephen Golden, C.L. Moore, Robert Silverberg, Theodore Sturgeon, Jack Williamson, Roger Selasny. My special thanks also goes to Algis Budrys for the invaluable work he did in editing and putting together this book. While judges have passed on and new judges have joined, today we stand strong with 23 writer judges and 22 illustrator judges. Judges who freely give their time and hard-won experience to the novice writers and artists. They are there for us anytime there is a panel, media interview, book signing, or any opportunity to help. And so we created a pin signifying that these are among those professionals who care for the future of science fiction and fantasy. The pin has the Writers and Illustrators of the Future logo embedded. For those judges who have been with us for more than 25 years, there is also a sapphire embedded in the pin. Sapphire symbolizes wisdom and generous thinking. It is also said to be the protection against sorcery, sending negative spells back to the sender. So considering the business we are in, this gives our much-loved judges an extra job benefit. Will the judges who have served up to 25 years please stand up to be acknowledged? Now for the rest of judges who are here and who have each served an impressive 25 years or more, they have received the Sapphire embedded pin. They are, and please hold your applause until all names have been called, Laura Fries-Baraha, Kevin J. Anderson, Tim Powers, David Farland, and Larry Niven. And not with us tonight are Orson Scott Card, Bob Eggleton, and founding judges Gregory Benford and Robert Silverberg. In recognition of your longstanding support of L. Ron Hubbard's Writers and Illustrators of the Future contest, will those who have served over 25 years please stand up to be acknowledged? Laura Fries-Baraha, please stand up. You guys rock. That's right. And now, please welcome Writers of the Future Judge Jody Lynn Nye to present the next award.
Volume 36 author Zach B. lives in the Washington, D.C. area. His story, As Able the Heir, is about a landmine decommission expert who struggles to connect with his non-human partner in the midst of an endless war. The illustrator of the story, Brock Aguirre, lives in Sammamish, Washington. Volume 37 author Sarah Fox lives in Marietta, Georgia, not far from where I live. Their story, Death of a Time Traveler, tells where time runs in a circle, beginning where it ends, but father has always been out of sync. Jennifer Bruce lives in Detroit, Michigan, and is the illustrator of the story, Death of a Time Traveler. Please welcome them to the stage.
What an amazing night, right? This is so great. Having a wonderful time. So suspense, right? We learned a lot this week about suspense, and I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't let everybody know that earlier in the week, PR mastermind, John Goodwin, had us all stand up and try this speech, and I absolutely bombed, like terribly. So hold on to your hats. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say. Obviously, I need to thank my family. Got to get that out of the way. They're here, all the way from DC, and they're great. Yes, yeah. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say about this program because it's just, or this contest, because it's just so big and amazing. And I was thinking back and thinking, what was L. Ron Hubbard's point here? And the word that keeps coming up as I think about it is motivation. I wanted to motivate the writers of the future, and now the illustrators of the future, to actually become those writers, right? And I felt that all week. And actually, I felt it before this week started. Felt it before I even ever submitted one time, right? It starts with author services. They really want us to submit. They really want us to turn on those stories. They want to find those people. And then when we get here, they really want us to feel like we are the writers of the future the whole time. They do an amazing job all week. It's never stopping. I don't think it's going to stop when we leave. right, Jody? It's going to keep going. Yeah. And then there's the judges who give their time to us to help us understand that we can do it, to motivate us, right? Jody Lynn and I said we could do it. Tim Powers and Dave Farland, who ran our workshop for the most part this week, told us we could do it every day for many, many hours on end. Larry Niven said we could do it. And Dean Wesley Smith gave me great tax advice. And then he said that we could do it as well. And then there's the other writers, sort of that last level. We are motivating each other, right? We came together, we've been pushing each other all week, sending each other our 24-hour stories, even though we didn't have to, setting up Facebook pages so we can send our novels to each other and prepare each other to be the writers of the future. So everybody out there who's thinking about submitting to this contest, you can do it. They want you to do it. We want you to do it. We want to find those writers of the future. So thank you, everybody, and this is awesome.
First, I have so much gratitude to Author Services for coordinating this event and getting all this together, all the people that are here tonight and the people that couldn't make it. I know you've been working tirelessly to get us here, and I'm so grateful. And everybody here looks fantastic, by the way. It's awesome. Most gratitude goes to my parents, probably, because, for just raising me right, even though I was a crazy kid. And the amount of opportunity that they've created for me is everything. I might have made the sculpture, but they bought the clay. So it's kind of how it works. I really appreciate all of the people that have worked so hard to teach me the illustrative techniques to pull any of my drawings off. My favorite of which, obviously, the GOAT, Echo Chernick. You just tapped on my shoulder at a coffee shop because you wanted to see my sketchbook, and here we are, and it's awesome. I just think it's really cool. The reason you're my favorite is because you never ever you don't even think about going easy on me at all, and it's just I just love it. You continuously teach me how to be tough, and you're on my Mount Rushmore, dude. I love you to death. And Zach, you killed it, dude. It was such a cool story. Dude, we're killing. We're just killing. Most of all is the amount of gratitude and thanks and love I have for my wonderful girlfriend, Asia. I love you more than anything. Thank you.
Mine's just very short because I don't like being on stage, but thank you very much.
Hello, what a beautiful night. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for being here. That's the first group I want to thank. And then I also want to thank all the other amazing contestants. Everyone else here has been so wonderful. It's been wonderful to spend a week with you all and, enjoy that camaraderie that comes with having the same kind of mind and way of looking at things. And it's been wonderful. I'd also like to thank everyone who made this night possible, all the judges, Galaxy Press, Author Services, all the volunteers. They've all been amazing. And of course, L. Ron Hubbard himself. I'm so thankful for this honor and for the opportunities that come with it. And thank you to my parents who have supported and partially funded my art education. I'm sure that not all parents would be willing to help their daughter become a starving artist, but they did. So thank you for that. And then I'd like to thank the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan for that education. They were amazing, and I would not be the artist I am today without them. Most notably, Kirby Fagan, who stood here before me. Thank you, Kirby. I'd like to thank Sarah for an amazing story. It was poignant and beautiful and a pleasure to illustrate. Also to my family and friends, my sisters and my brother, my in-laws, and especially my amazing husband for their unwavering support. Also to my husband and many others for being my reference shot mannequin so very often. It's really nice to have a live-in reference model. It's super helpful. And of course, I can't stop without thanking my creator who made me who I am. And I wouldn't choose another career for the world. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Please welcome Illustrators of the Future judge, Laura Fries-Baraha.
Good evening. Ask more like it. Volume 36 winner Tom Boiteau is also from Michigan. Some suspect this has something to do with the contest administrator who was born and raised there. You think? But actually, I don't think so. It must be in the water. In his story, Molting Season, the human race may not understand the alien race of Skyless, but we do feel their pain. The illustrator of the story is Daniel Bitton from Maryland. Volume 37 winner Ryan Cole from Virginia wrote the story A Demon Hunter's Guide to Passover Seder, about Noam, who only hopes to have a normal Seder, but he'll have to battle his brother's new girlfriend and the demons that follow her. The illustrator of the story is Jeff Weiner, currently living in Nevada. Please welcome Daniel to the stage.
All right, I want to start off by thanking all of you for being here tonight. I want to thank Mr. Hubbard for his contributions and making this contest possible. I also want to give a big thanks for all the staff at Galaxy Press and Author Services for all their hard work over the last few years. It goes without saying, this would not have been possible without the unyielding support of my parents, my 3 older brothers, and my girlfriend, Regan. I'm incredibly honored to have met a group of such talented artists and mentors. Having this peer group is invaluable as an artist. I feel that we hold each other accountable as we work towards our goals. I also want to thank both writers Tim and Brittany for their wonderful stories in volumes 36 and 37 that I had the honor of illustrating. Lastly, this contest provided me with my first professional opportunity in school, and also the encouragement needed to pursue this dream. Thank you.
Please welcome Writers of the Future judge, Nina Kariki Hoffman.
Hi. Sunny Zay from Plano, Texas. Her humorous story, Automated Everyman Migrant Theater, is about a troop of androids that risks everything by breaking the 3 laws of robotics to win the praise of a roving theater critic. Illustrator winner Phoebe Rothfield grew up in Chico, California, but is now pursuing her MFA at the Savannah College of Art and Design. Author M. Washburn is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Their story, Hemingway, is about a young girl in a plastic boat who finds herself at the doorstep of a mysterious old man living in a house built in the middle of the ocean. The illustrator of this story is Seth Nguyen from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Please congratulate them all.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I firstly just wanted to thank all of the people that write and illustrate fantastical stories. I really think they just make the world a more wonderful and hopeful place, and they've always helped and inspired me so, so much. And I want to thank my family, who's always supported my creative pursuits, and my circles of art friends and professors. I'm a better artist and person because of you all, so thank you. And Author Services for organizing the event and getting us all here safely. And you've all been so supportive and encouraging this whole week and during the entire pandemic year while you were updating us continuously. So thank you. You're all amazing. And thanks to everyone that's helped with the event this week. And Sunny Zay for writing the story that I was lucky enough to illustrate. I had so much fun drawing it. Mashing theater and robots, coolest combo ever. So thank you. It's really fun. And L. Ron Hubbard Foundation for funding this contest. It's such an amazing opportunity. Thank you. And to all the judges and guest speakers this week, I have so loved learning from you all. And I haven't been that excited to wake up early consecutive days in a row for a really long time. So thank you. It was amazing. And to all my fellow illustration winners, you are all amazing people, and it's been so fun and inspiring learning and chatting with you all this week, and I'm so excited to see what you all create in the future. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to start with the obvious thanks first, which is thank you to everybody at Galaxy Press and Author Services for organizing this whole thing. Very dope, very rad. Thank you very much. And also a shout out to L. Ron Hubbard for starting this whole thing. Couldn't be here without you, my boy. I shouldn't say my boy. This is formal. I also want to thank all the judges and everybody who organized the thing, very difficult due to COVID. And I also want to thank my parents for accompanying me and who said that I wasn't going to be on the plane ride home if I didn't thank them. Also, a big shout out to the 2 friends I know for sure watching this, Aiden and Augustine. Thank you guys. Pretty dope of you to watch this. Also shouldn't say dope, this is formal. I also, of course, since I'm one of the only people here who's not 18 yet, I'm 17, I was 16 when I won. I want to do a big emphasis on the importance of student journalism today. I was in yearbook and Lit Mag, I'm still in Lit Mag this year. Lit Mag stands for literary magazine. Probably should clarify what the abbreviation means before I say it. I'm in Roars, and the name of my school's literary magazine is Roars and Whispers, wins a ton of awards, but literary magazine is crucial for student voices to be heard and to up student creativity and give them a voice for that. And a lot of times they go underfunded at schools who focus more on yearbook or just don't focus on the arts at all, really. And I just want to tell you guys that if you have a public school near you that has a literary magazine, I would encourage you all to help fund it. Mine, Roars and Whispers, has patrons, which are people who donate, and we need a lot of donations in order to keep our thing up and running. So big emphasis, student journalism, very important. Make sure you support it. Thank you very much.
Please welcome Writers of the Future Judge Eric Flint.
Elaine Midco is a published finalist in volume 37. Her story, The Battle of Danasi, is about a guilt-born war hero who finds herself in an unexpected extraterrestrial battle, confronting the prospect of having to kill again. Brittany Rainsden from Snake River, Idaho, is also a published finalist in volume 7. Her story is Half-Breed, where when tensions between humans and aliens, dryads, boil over, a teen must bridge the gap between the old world and the new before everything she loves turns to ash. Please congratulate them both.
Oh, gosh. I'm here. This is so cool. This week has been amazing. I want to thank Mr. Hubbard, of course, for founding this contest. I want to thank Galaxy Press and Author Services. They've been amazing hosts, done so much. The judges, especially Tim and Dave, who helped us navigate through the week and taught us so much. I want to thank my illustrator, Daniel Baton. He took my breath away. I lost words. It's a beautiful piece. I want to thank the writing communities who have helped me. Their Ink Stains, Cleverly, Writers of the Future Forums, and the Wolf Pack. I want to thank Becky and Chris, who, without their kind words and encouragement, I may not have submitted this story by the deadline. I want to thank my friend and mentor, Wolf Moon. He's spent a lot of time helping me, critiquing my stories, and giving me really good advice. One of the best pieces of advice he told me to do was to take a sticky note and put it by my computer and write on it, "Belief becomes reality." And I did, and sometimes that's been hard to believe, but you know, the fact that I'm here tonight, that proves I'm right. I want to thank my family, my parents, without whom I would not be here today. They're watching my 4 kids who are at home, and I miss them. They have richer imaginations than I do, and they make me a better person, a better writer. And anyway, I also want to thank my husband, who told me a long time ago that, he told me a long time ago that part of his dreams was to help me reach mine, and he's done that. I have 2 pieces of advice for any aspiring writers out there listening. Surround yourself with good, kind, uplifting people. They are what helped get me here. And number 2, to be an uplifting person yourself. For me, we achieve more together, and for me, that's been exactly what this contest is about. So, thank you.
To introduce the Writers and Illustrators of the Future Golden Pen and Golden Brush Awards, please welcome Contest Director, Ms. Joni Labaki.
Thank you.
It has been a great pleasure to work with this amazing group of winners. From the point of receiving your submissions, handling your questions, and answering phone calls in the final hour before the deadline. The biggest joy, however, is placing that call to let you know that you have won and giving you that promise of future success, exactly as it was envisioned by the founder of the contest. And here we are at the pinnacle of the contest year to acknowledge our two very special highest honors, the L. Ron Hubbard Golden Brush Award and Golden Pen Awards for Volume 36 and Volume 37. Grand prize winning illustrator and writer. Besides their beautiful trophies, their publication in the anthologies, and the master level workshops that they've attended, each of our grand prize winners will be awarded $5,000. And now, to present the L. Ron Hubbard Illustrators of the Future Grand Prize Golden Brush Awards, please welcome Illustrators of the Future Coordinating Judge Echo Chernick and B. Jackson.
Oh, this is my favorite part. Each one of our artists is gifted well beyond the norm and has worked hard to gain the prowess that you've seen here tonight. And as much as beauty is in the eye of the beholder, it is also in the eye and the heart of the artist. Artists see things in their own special ways, and they've often had to work for years to develop their rare and diverse talents and style. We admire and applaud them for all of this. Give them a round of applause. As for us judges, we're thankful that we get to judge anonymously, or it would simply be too personal and too impossible with such talented group of artists. But we did manage to come up with a grand prize winner for both volumes.
Envelopes, please. The Volume 36 Illustrators of the Future Golden Brush Award with this beautiful trophy and grand prize check of $5,000 goes to the illustrator of Stolen Sky on Lee.
Sorry, guys, I'm still shaking. Thank you so much. This is still unreal at this moment, but I cannot express how grateful I am to be a part of this amazing event. And just to thank again, I'm so happy to be able to accept this award, and to see that my parents are so proud is just, I can't even express it in words. But once again, I'd just like to thank so much all the members of Authors Services and Galaxy Press for this to even be possible. Is an incredible journey that I will never forget. Thank you so much.
We get to do it again.
The Volume 37 Illustrators of the Future Golden Brush Award with this beautiful trophy and grand prize check of $5,000
goes to the winner of the illustrator of How to Steal the Plot Armor, Dan Watson. As this year's grand prize winner could not attend, here he is.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'd like to thank L. Ron Hubbard and Galaxy Press for creating and organising this event. I'd like to thank my mum and my dad, who always supported and encouraged me over the years. Thank you to all my mentors who've helped me so much along the way, including Dan Dos Santos, who, with my friend and fellow illustrator Ben Hill, convinced me to sign up to this in the first place. Thank you to all my friends all over the world. And I love the fantasy and sci-fi community, the art, the writing, the people. But I'm sorry I can't be there in person this year, but thank you.
To present the Writers of the Future Golden Pen Award, please welcome the Writers of the Future Coordinating Judge, David Farland, and Writers of the Future Judge, Tim Powers.
Anticipation lies thick in this room. I feel it in you. We're all brimming with anticipation to see which of these fine new writers will win the Golden Pen Awards for volumes 36 and 37. But I'm just as filled with anticipation to see how well each of the writers in these anthologies launches their careers and to begin witnessing how they go about shaping our world with their ideas, their insights, their wit, and their artistry. I feel that same anticipation in some small part each time that I open a story, hoping that it is one of the great ones for the year. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the writers in the audience who appear in these anthologies. You're all great ones. Regardless of who wins tonight, I anticipate a bright future for each of you. All you need to do is to work to bring about that future.
All right. May I have the envelopes, please? Okay, the Volume 36 Writers of the Future Golden Pen Award and grand prize check for $5,000 goes to the author of The Trade by C. Winspear. As he hasn't been able to attend, he sent in an acceptance speech in anticipation of winning, and here it is.
G'day from Australia, from across the Pacific. The Golden Pen Award! Crazy! Whoa. It's probably good this is recorded because I am going to be an incomprehensible mess right now. I will be running around my little room, so excited. I'll be pulling out my novel from the trunk and I'll be giving it a good quick clean before I email it. All of you, you're all going to get one. I'm just going to be incomprehensible. So thank you 1,000 times. And this is not just an encouragement for me personally. This is, of course, encouragement for my fellow writers here in Australia and across the world. We're a little bit further from the buzz of sci-fi and fantasy, which tends to be New York and I guess US focused. So thank you. This is huge encouragement. And I'm sure my fellow Sydney writers like Harry Goddard and Zoe Knowles and Layla Norsheen, who gave me some great advice on this story, so big thanks to her. I'm sure they're going to be winning their own awards soon enough. And of course, I have to thank, my parents, and I want to actually congratulate two of the other authors who are in the anthology this year. A great company, and I look forward to defining the future of sci-fi and fantasy with you guys. So yes, there's nothing like this competition. There's nothing in this time where it's getting increasingly harder to get a short story or a novel published that just celebrates new talent the way that this contest does. So thank you 1,000 times. Thank you to Author Services and the big man L. Ron Hubbard for starting this award. I hope that some other famous authors soon start their own awards. No pressure. No pressure, but it'd be great to keep fostering new talent like this, keep the conversation going, keep everything alive, and just enjoy science fiction and fantasy as much as we all enjoyed it growing up. Continue that fire. So thank you, 1,000 thank yous. I look forward to seeing you all next year or as soon as I can. Mwah!
Wow. Imagine if he'd been here. And the Volume 37 Writers of the Future Golden Pen Award and grand prize check for $5,000 goes to the writer of the story Sixes by Barbara Lund.
Okay, so I cried at Joni when she called, and apparently I'm going to cry at you all as well. Thank you. Thank you to the judges, and thank you to my family, and thank you to everyone here. I did not expect this because I'm in such a great company of amazing writers. So thank you very much.
This marks the end of the 2021 L. Ron Hubbard Achievement Awards and the beginning of a new year of creative accomplishments. Let me also close by encouraging every writer and illustrator out there to keep writing, keep illustrating, keep creating, and take that next step. Submit your story or your illustration for consideration. Don't miss the opportunity. You have a chance to pursue your dreams and help us build that finer tomorrow. As L. Ron Hubbard stated, we instinctively revere the great artist, painter, or musician, and society as a whole looks upon them as not quite ordinary beings, and they are not. They are a cut above man. He who can truly communicate to others is a higher being who builds new worlds. Please join us now in the gorgeous Taglian complex to further honor the winners as well as our esteemed judges. And do not miss your chance to ask our winners for their autographs as published professionals. From all of us at Author Services and Galaxy Press, congratulations to all the winners, and thank you all for being with us tonight. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Just before I let y'all go, just got in from LA. I just wanted to let y'all know y'all can go find this. It's only going to be here for a few more minutes. We're going to turn it off. It's going to be for private viewing only, but you can find it at writersofthefuture.com. Go over there and check it out on YouTube. Just check it out. I'll let you know when this is going to be back on here, but right now it's only going to be with writersofthefuture.com. Sorry. Tired, guys. And also, it's all the audio is out there, so you can listen to the whole thing via any of the archive sites. But right now, as far as the video goes, you're only going to be able to get it over at writersofthefuture.com. So I just thought I'd let you know that. On that note, I'm going to get out of here and let everybody have a good night. And I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you.